Hey guys, welcome. I'm in my car porch here, and I want to show you something. So we talk about tire pressure, and I think people don't understand how important is tire pressure for safety, for braking, for being able to getting out of difficult position. Tire pressure isn't just for being stranded on the middle of the road when your tire has got no air in it. So tire pressure monitoring is beyond that. Think about this. When your car is moving on a straight line, it causes friction with the road. Temperature increases, and the tire is round and obviously isn't perfect. There are parts in the tire will expand more because as it hits the ground, and when it expands, there are points where it could crack, but it will not crack immediately. Normally there are signs, and the signs are normally to do with temperature or differences in tire pressure. That's where tire pressure monitoring systems or TPMS are very important. Now, if you buy an expensive car um, or a decent enough of a car, now this is a 330e F30. This has got a tire pressure monitoring system, but it isn't as advanced as what you would get in a higher end F30 which is sold outside of Malaysia. In this car, what happens is there is a wheel speed sensor, and if you can imagine this, all four tires, all four corners as a wheel speed sensor. What it does is there is something like a sensor, and basically on the wheel hub, the tire is there, the wheel hub, there is a magnet. So by counting how many times it spins in a second or a minute, whatever, it can compute how fast the tire is turning. Because if you turn and do like 1, 2, 3, that's how fast it goes. If it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see it's going faster. So if you can work out wheel speed, that's what's called a wheel speed sensor. Sometimes it's also called an ABS sensor. By working out the rotation speed, you can know if all four tires are spinning at the same rate. So what does that give you? Well, if one tire is spinning lesser, it means there's no traction. For a momentarily no traction, that means ABS kicks in and gives you a brake on the opposite end. The car will realign itself and go straight. ABS sensor. But the same sensor is used to calculate if that loss of rotation speed is permanent. Think about this. If your car rotates lesser on one side for a while, that's called loss of traction. If your car tire spins less for a long period of time, something is wrong. What happens is when there is more pressure on a tire, it's more plump, isn't it? So you'll spin more. When there's less pressure, it'll spin less because it's losing grip, or vice versa, depending on what type of tire you are. But basically, you will know which tire is losing grip, and it tells you, you know what, left front tire losing air. This is the basic way of doing things. But on more expensive cars, you've got a TPMS which tells you the pressure as well as the temperature. Now, a cheap way of achieving this is what you can get on Shopee or all these places. I bought from China. I want to show you how easy it is, how cheap it is, and what you do to install them. Now, in your kit when you buy this, this was like 60 ringgit, I believe. So 60 ringgit, I think you should get it. I'll show some do's and don'ts, and then from there you can see what you want to get, or you can, I put a link up here on the video. You can go in the video and see. Now, they'll give you 4 of these. Let me come closer to you. They'll give you 4 of these. This is the kind of the sensor. So there are 2 types of the sensor. One is an internal type, whereby sensor goes inside of the car. The other type sensor actually sits outside of the car. Now, I prefer the internal type. This is the external type. The internal type are fantastic, but you pay a bit more for them, and you must go to a tire shop. They must open the tire up and put it inside. So if you think about the TPMS, it may cost you 100 plus. The label to open and put inside the tire, they'll cost you another maybe 100 bucks to open all 4. And then when the battery gets low on those sensors, you gotta open up all over again and do that again. So a bit more cost in the internal type, but that's actually much better because the inside, and you don't have to buy a valve because it comes in a valve. But the external ones, you can use them if you do it properly, and this is how you do it. Now on my car, the F30, the valves here, they are metal valves. So if you go and do your tires, ask them to replace the metal valves. These valves will cost you 20 ringgit each, I believe. Now if you change that to a metal valve, what you can do is you can now put this. Now why metal valve? When it's a plastic valve, the tire will spin. When the rim or tire spins, this thing becomes like a counterweight. So imagine this will spin. So if this spins and it's a plastic valve over here, okay, this will becoming like this, like a limb something. You know, you just keep moving up and down, and that's where your valve breaks. Your valve breaks. So I don't like this method of using for TPMS if you're using a plastic valve. If you have a metal valve, fantastic. So we're going to change to a metal valve and then install these things over here. And how we do it, you can see them, it says FL, so front left, and they say FL. So this one is rear left RL. One second. Oh. So this is my rear left, and this is what I want to install onto this side. Now how to install them? Easy. Just open up your valve cover here, so you won't use the valve cover anymore, not required. And this is very important if you have the cars for your wife. And when you install this, they give you these things over here. So these are kind of like a Allen, like a wrench, as well as some nuts. Now these nuts are very important. Let me tell you why. One second. Okay, let me tell you why. So, using my phone to adjust the camera here. So, so they come with this two piece over here. So this is the old valve cover, and this will be a new valve cover. And then you give the back there. From the back, you'll have these nuts. Now, some of you may know, some of you may not know. What happens is, if you were to install this as is without this, over time, this will come undone. This will come loose and it will fall off and be on the side of the road. What you got to do is this. First, the washer, this washer type of ring nut here, okay? You got to first install that. So here we are, okay? First, you got to install that first. So that goes all the way in as much as you can. Okay, done. Next comes this piece over here. Next, install this piece. So you see, initially when you install, there's a sound, air's coming out. I'll do it quickly. At this point, air is now pushing against this valve over here. So just push until you can't push any further. Now once that is in, you see this, the one you installed earlier, you got to push the one back out, right? Okay. Here's the tricky part. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. Okay. So you have to basically hold this end, and while holding this, because this can't move, this is now tight. Okay. It's not tight. Righty, tighty. Okay. So it's now facing here. With one hand I'm doing this, but basically I've got to do the other side the other way. So I see it turns now, no good. Okay, so let me just turn the camera around. Okay, imagine this comes here, they go on opposite direction. So one goes this way and one goes this way. So now it's impossible for it to come out. Impossible. And that's pretty much it. So two nuts goes on opposite side, and basically that actually locks itself over here, and this will not come out. Now, why do I do this? Well, this car is used by my wife, and when she drives it, sometimes you won't have early warning, because a car never goes flat immediately, a car never breaks tires immediately, a car goes through certain cycles. temperature increases and the tire bursts. So with this now, what I get is I've got this, which I will install on the dash of the car, and when I turn this on, there's battery there. Okay, it gives me a reading. Okay, now obviously I can't see any reading because the tire hasn't spun, hasn't been activated. Once the tire spins, it activates and gives you a reading to this device over here. Now the question is, for something so cheap, this is like what, 60 bucks? Okay, 60 bucks, 50 bucks. Is it something that will last a long time? Is it something that you can use for a long time and not throw away? Yes and no. You see now, oh yeah, I can see now, 1.9 bar. Can you see? Down there, 1.9 bar. And at 28 degrees Celsius. So I should be at, let me see this car. Let me see. 1 second. If I would open the car, and if I check this out, I'm not sure if you can see this over here. What does it say? So it says I should be at 2.4 bar and 2.6 bar in the rear. So I'm way off. And this is the thing which I hate the most. When you go to a petrol station, you pump according to this. When you come out, you don't actually get that. So something is off. So yeah, 2.4 and 2.6. This is definitely off. I got to install this and then check again and do it. The only problem with this is, if your wife goes to a petrol station to pump air, it becomes difficult because you got to take a pass spanner, open that, and then pump air back in. But that's another problem altogether. That's why the internal ones are much better. I'll leave a link to both types, internal and external, but the external types are way cheaper. It works just fine, and if there's a problem, you know way in advance, and by the time you're already at a petrol station. So hope that helps. Buy it, use it. It's a cheap thing, you know what, to try out. Go for it, man. Cheers, bye. So I just finished installing this TPMS sensor, and the car hasn't moved yet, and it works, and it's fantastic. And what I'm seeing is quite alarming. It says 2.3 bar front left, 1.9 front right, 2.1 rear, 2.0 back. And that is really off, because technically the back should have higher pressure than the front, and even the temperature, it says 28 on one side on the left, and it's cooler on the other side. So there's higher pressure, it's higher temperature, so that all that adds up. But it means I have got a leak confirmed on the front of my tire. If I keep driving this, the tire will wear out faster, and most likely could burst, because too hot, pressure builds up, and my wife will have a flat tire and she'll be calling me, Thana, where are you? I am stuck. So yeah, buy it guys. It's 60 bucks. I think it's a cheap enough investment. Play with it like a toy, and once you're happy and you want to go further, you can buy the more expensive internal type, which is of course more seamless, because it's clean. It looks clean on the car. Now it's like a sore thumb because it sticks out. But yeah, try it.